For those of you who don't know me, my name is Trinity and I've been coming to Homer for 2.5 years now, and it's already been a huge blessing for my family. I am the oldest of 8 kids, and I am a homeschool sophomore. I have been very blessed to have grown up in a Christian household and to have amazing parents who love and care for my siblings and me. I have always believed in God, but it wasn't until I went to one of Jamie Grace's concerts on November 3rd, 2013, that I accepted Christ into my heart. I listened to the lyrics of her song, You Lead, and they said, "When you lead, I'll follow. Just light the way and I'll go, because I know what you've got for me is more than I can see, so lead me on." And listening to those lyrics made me think of Galatians 2:20, which says, "I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loves me and gave himself for me." Since then, I have grown closer to God, and I continue to strengthen my relationship with him every day. Over the past 5 years, I have discovered some of the gifts he has blessed me with, like my love for missions and my growing passion for music. One of the greatest gifts God has given me is a huge heart for missions. The first mission trip that I took was in 2015 down to Haiti for 7 weeks. My whole family went, and at the time we had 6 kids and my mom was pregnant with her 7th. When we went down there, we had visited a few orphanages and had interacted with our host kids. The main reason we went down there was because my parents wanted to become full-time missionaries down there, but God closed the door for our family. That trip was especially hard. We had to endure a lot of things like bugs in our food, flying cockroaches, 100+ degree weather, killer mosquitoes, and sickness. We also had to deal with limited electricity, about 2 hours every other day, and no transportation. Looking back on that trip, I realized that even though God didn't keep us in Haiti, that's when God gave all of us kids a heart for missions. After that first trip, I have never been fearful of going on another mission trip. It's funny because when I'm in the States, I'm always worrying about what could happen to me or the people I care about. But when I'm in a different country, I don't struggle with those fears, because I'm more conscious that God sent me for a reason and he's going to protect me wherever I go. The second mission trip was down to Mexico for 5 days to build 2 houses with Homes of Hope. It wasn't as long as the first one, but I was just as excited and it was just as important. Our mission team was able to build 2 houses in 2 days and make a difference in those 2 families' lives by giving them a safe place to live. Being down there was life-changing because we don't realize that we take everything that we have for granted until we experience how they live every day. Here in the States, we don't fully depend on God for our next meal, or clean water to drink, or even electricity to charge our phones. We all have our comforts, the things we love and don't want to live without. We like to be in control, in our safe little comfort zones, but God doesn't tell us to always be safe and do the things we want. He tells us in Matthew 16:24 and 25, that if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? Or what shall a man give in return of his soul? The sad thing is that it's not just third world countries anymore. It's also our country. Here and now, people are struggling to provide for their families and ending up homeless. Whether it's because of an addiction, not being able to find work, divorce, or health issues, people are struggling right here in America. The last mission trip I went on was the 2-day trip down to Rantoul with our youth group here. We helped at a food pantry, Salvation Army, youth center, and a thrift store. It was eye-opening that so many homeless, struggling people and lonely children just a couple hours from me. I mean, I knew that there were homeless people and people struggling to provide for their families around us, but we always just asked God to help them, to comfort them, and to keep them safe. I never really imagined that God would be able to use me to help the people in need around me.